because of XMP and memory compatibility. Now, depending on when you got your CPU and your motherboard combo and your RAM, if you've not enabled XMP or the Extreme Memory Profile for Intel CPUs or DOCP for an older AM4 CPUs for AMD, or AMD Expo for AM5, see, it starts to get a little bit convoluted as you talk about it in the future, your RAM is not running at its full potential. The memory speed that is listed on your stick of RAM, which is the selling point for most people, not just timings, but most people don't understand timings to begin with, but they'll just look at the frequency and say, okay, I've got 3800 megahertz RAM, DDR4. If you were not to go in and enable XMP or DOCP, depending on Intel or AMD, you're more than likely only getting either 2133 megahertz or 2400 megahertz. Now, depending on your use case and what programs you're using and how much RAM speed is important to those programs or those games, we do know RAM speed can give a very noticeable increase in gaming FPS, depending on your graphics card. If you are not running XMP or have the fast RAM settings enabled, you're not getting the benefit of the item of which you paid for. And we all know that RAM cost is directly related to RAM speed and not just capacity. So if you've got 32 gigabytes of 3800 or even 4000 megahertz RAM, and you've not gone into your BIOS and enabled any of that, you're more than likely running at 2133, which means you are running at almost half the speed that you paid for. So it's another reason why I recommend updating the BIOS on your motherboard first, because it will give you the best likelihood of having compatible XMP profiles and speeds that work with your CPU. You see, XMP or Extreme Memory Profile / DOCP or AMD Expo is an